Oh, hello, you guys. How are you doing? Before I get too far, I want to start this thing off by saying happy Pride to all members of my LGBTQ plus family. I wish that this Pride you are walking in the spirit of light, love, and truth to those in the open and those behind closed doors for now. This isn't gonna be a long video, likely. This is very much so in I gotta talk about this type of video. Like you just encounter something, you just gotta speak on it real quick, or you gotta get off your chest because it just needs to be talked about. Well, to celebrate Pride Month, I decided to do something that I now realize I should have did much, much sooner. I watched Pose for the first time. I watched it and I thought I knew what to expect, but it turns out I didn't have a single clue. I knew it was a ballroom show, of course, and that's about it. I actually knew there was a big trans cast, and they were awarded a lot for the series, stuff like that. I had a strong feeling it was good because, the people talking about it, but I didn't know I'd be smiling and crying as much as I've been. The show, honestly, it's been putting me through the ringer, to be honest. Like, it's been putting my emotions have been all over the place since I started watching the show. For those that may not be familiar, Pose is an FX show that ran for about 3 seasons that told various stories of characters within the 1980s ballroom scene as they faced real-world trials such as homophobia, transphobia, racism, and much, much more. The show centered around Blanca, a trans woman determined to build her own legendary house after her HIV diagnosis. And basically just her house members, along with other people within the community of ballroom, and just them navigating lives in whichever way they have to survive. So, after years of sleeping on this masterpiece, I finally gave it a watch. I've been on it for like a few days now this week. After watching all the way to like halfway through season 2, I had to pause and give it a review on my absolute favorite episode of the show so far. That episode is episode 4, season 2, Never Knew Love Like This Before. All right, I'm going to give y'all a quick rundown of the episode, but most of it's like you have seen the show before, because if you haven't seen the show yet and you're watching this review, what are you doing? So I guess I'm going to say spoiler alert, but not really. Okay. I'm going to just admit I'm focusing mainly. The video is about the Candy storyline. That's where I'm focusing that's where I'm focusing the attention of the video at. If you couldn't tell by the title. So, like I said, this episode focuses on Candy, one of Pose's captivating characters. For those who don't know, bold trans woman with the goal to be seen in the ballroom world. Even if that means jumping into the category she was seen as not ready for or qualified without some help or modification. She spends parts of the episode, after years of trying different categories, trying to pitch a lip sync category to the MC Council. A category she knows she can have her star moment in. The request is immediately dismissed by Pray Tell, who has basically spent the entire series shooting her down immediately when she tried other categories, which honestly she wasn't ready for. She tried voguing, and yeah, it's undeniable that she wasn't ready for that. But one of the things that made her like so admirable, though, was her nerve. Like, she was brave, and she had the heart to try pretty much anything. So Prey shoots her idea down, which doesn't go well by her. So later in the episode, we find out through Lulu, Candy's House of Ferocity co-founder, that Candy had started participating in like doing sex work to make ends meet, and she had recently gone missing. So time passes, and we learn Candy had actually been unfortunately murdered in a hotel room, doing one of her tricks. After that, fellow trans women Blanca, Angel, and Elektra make it their mission to give Candy the proper send-off. They retrieve her body from the morgue by falsifying some documents, very illegal stuff if they're serious about it, give her a makeover, and give her this eventful, I will say, memorial service. Throughout the course of the episode, we see Candy and her in this like ghost form coming to various members of the cast, having like her final words for her. Pray Tell admitting to being hard on Candy due to her boldness and hating those parts of himself and just trying to protect her. We have Lulu admitting her resentment towards Candy, but still how she is going to miss her, having her by her side, able to talk shit and like basically like fuck shit up in the ballroom scene. Then we have Angel getting that forgiveness she needs for not getting Candy's parents to come after even trying to. It isn't until around the last moments where Candy's parents actually do show up to see their daughter. The mom, of course, are kind of giving like slightly like very so transphobic. The mom isn't even like really at first acknowledging even that her pronouns are she, her, and that's no longer like her son. So this is where Candy's parents get like their last exchange with Candy, and like the same ghost form that visited like the other characters. They get their apologies. Like lingering thoughts are put to rest in that moment. Like basically the closure was closuring throughout this episode. The people who needed closure got the closure that they needed from the ghost Candy. So after that, the final words at the funeral would be the MC Council announcing how they'll be officially incorporating a lip sync category to every ball, naming it after Candy, referring to it as Candy's Sweet Refrain. Flames from lighters fill the room, starting with Blanca, and the pallbearers are called to move the casket. However, instead of the pallbearers walking near the front doors to exit, they move to the front doors that open up at the front of the venue of the memorial service, where they have a memorial service. Front doors appear, opening up to the ballroom venue they frequented throughout the entire series. The outfit Candy was wearing in a casket before is then replaced with a red French dress. Her hair is now teased to the max. She wakes up, gets out of her casket to a room surrounded by all her fellow ballgoers, house children, friends, pray tell, judges. And in that moment, she puts on a show-stopping performance to Stephanie Mills' Never Knew Love Like This Before. In the afterlife, getting her tens, and finally getting her grand prize, being seen as more than just a face girl, getting exactly what she wanted in the end. Then I cried. I cried for so long, actually. Let me see, I went to the show knowing that Candy was passing. That's something I spoke for myself a while ago. I had a feeling how it would happen because I knew who the character was based off of. I was told this was a sad episode. I had seen screenshots of the scene of her coming out the casket for years now. I never expected this scene to hit me or like hit at all the way that it did. I didn't expect this episode to hit the way that it did. I didn't expect the storyline to hit the way that it did. There have been various scenes in this show that brought up many emotions to me due to how like relatable some of the thought processes were. But this one does it in the most hard-hitting way. It was, I was good. At first I was like, oh, this is beautiful. Like her coming to a ghost, getting people closure and stuff. I was like, oh, this is beautiful. This is a gorgeous moment. The first hint was the talk with her parents. The talk with her parents. Yeah, that was the first time my eyes started like well up a little bit. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, this is getting me a bit. And I thought that was going to be like the extent of it. Then the damn lip sync happened. And that is when I broke. That broke me. Y'all think I was dead. I was crying until the next day to that song. I was beyond repair. I was listening to that song the next day in the car, still tearing up. It was over. There was no going back after that. Now, for those who don't know, if you follow me on Facebook, you definitely know. If you follow me on Instagram, you know. I'm a Butch Queen that doesn't play about his trans women. You will hear me say every chance I get that has always been the confidence of trans women to live as they are, that has always inspired me throughout my life. So every time I watch shows like this or movies or documentaries, I think of my real life trans sisters, which didn't help at all with my emotions going into this episode or watching this episode. Now, why am I making this video? Because I just had to talk about this absolutely tragic yet amazing character send-off that tells a story not just of the character, but the harsh realities of trans women, especially trans women of color during the 1980s and even today. I watched other people's thoughts on this choice to kill off this character, and I was like, yeah, this is a discussion. I want to talk about this. Like, one, to just praise the entire storyline, and two, just like, discuss some of the thought process going on. People asking, like, why a character that didn't get much time to develop? Why a character with so much potential? I'm not a writer for the show, but I want to take a crack at it and try to find out Why Candy? Well, one of the consistent things that I had seen from those that questioned the decision of the character being killed off was the lack of development in the character. Candy's character basically around the show, she was seen as basically like the butt of the joke a lot when they weren't using her for like a scheme or something, or like when she wasn't just, fucking shit up with Lulu by her side. She was shut down and disregarded a lot. She was shoot off sometimes and laughed at many times throughout the series. And when she tried to step out her lane by those that were now at the funeral scene, like singing her praises, why not give her that moment in the spotlight where she could live and prove all those that doubted her wrong? Like, why not give her that happy ending? Like, why not show her putting in the work and getting seen the way she had always wanted to be? That is essentially what Baldwin was created for those who felt like they could never be the stars in the real world, to have their talents acknowledged and praised. Like, despite every rejection Candy got throughout the series, she stood on the fact that she had heart and that she had talent. Like, since season 1, this was shown. So why cut her off before this development, some ask? Like, why make that move? Why show us a character that spent so long fighting to be seen and then do this? She didn't even get the chance, well, at least from how I see it. I kind of see it as that was basically the point. Like, these questions that I are asking about Candy, the TV show character, were questions that the friends and family of many murdered trans women asked themselves for years. Like, one of the main themes of Pose is literally the way that life in the 1980s for gay and trans people could be cut short at any moment. Despite their goals, despite their potential. Like, even the storyline itself is inspired by the real life murder of Venus Extravaganza from the Baldwin documentary Paris is Burning. Like, Venus was a girl with huge dreams. She wanted to be spoiled and rich. Like, throughout the documentary, we hear these goals in her life, the way she was raised, the life she aspired to have, how Baldwin was her home, and that was like her place to shine. And unfortunately, like Candy, her dream was cut short when she was found murdered in her hotel room before the documentary had even completed filming. Like, to make the storyline work, it would have to get the impact it needed. And to get for the storyline to work and for it to get the impact that it needed, it had to star someone that represented what Venus did. A young dreamer wanting to be seen in a certain light. So, but why not Angel or Lulu or the other trans women for the storyline? Well, I don't know. I'm not around the show. All I can do is say why I think Candy was the best option for the storyline. All the outrage regarding this character's death, in my opinion, actually supports why it was such a perfect decision. That's how you were supposed to feel. Like, Candy was a strong-willed underdog. We wanted to see her succeed. Every funny moment made you root for her more. Like, she would come on character and, like, she would come on camera and her character was just amazing to watch. While watching the show, you probably envisioned the great things that she could accomplish. Losing her felt like a robbery of the ability to watch her grow. But the thing is, Candy was a representation for the dreamers, the innovators, the passionate and the creative trans women whose lives were cut short due to the insecurity of man. Highlighting the constant thought of what could have been. That which was something that was summed up very beautifully in the series. All the scenes of her going from character to character, comforting them and getting closure. That's something that that's something that we can only wish for. Like, being able to say the words that are like too late to be said to someone who died, saying the things that you couldn't say to them. Like, there are parents who never got the chance to reconcile with their deceased LGBTQ children who they shunned because of who they decided to love or how they decided to identify. Those that call themselves friends and family that live in regret of the actions they took against someone, unable to give that final apology. The entire lip sync right down to the song choice, a performance taking place in the world of what if. What if she didn't have to turn to sex work to make money? What if she had the support of her parents from the beginning? What if she had gotten her moment to shine? The realization that this isn't going to happen added to the heartbreaking realness of the scene. Because in reality, all the unjustly murdered trans women left victims unable to seek out these moments. Back to the song real quick, because like I said, this song has been on repeat since I watched the episode, and it basically says it all. The moment she finally gets her glory, never knew love like this before. There's such like a bittersweetness to this moment. We're finally seeing this side of Kandi we wanted to see since the first season, but it's not reality. This is only, like I said, in the world of what if. Despite how bad we want to see this moment for her, she never will experience it. And that's an unfortunate, very dark truth that they tackled. Even if you can't relate as a trans person or relate to a trans person, we have all dreamt of something for our lives, something bigger. Like, we all have dreams and goals we want to accomplish and a way we want to be seen one day. Like, in my opinion, this is a character send-off that can't be beat, in my opinion. Like, you'd have to try hard. Like, I thought Justin from 13 Reasons Why was hard to watch, but this honestly beat that. It beat it. Justin's death was just unnecessary. Pose is a very fictionalized show about a dark and very beautiful reality. This episode, unfortunately, was a time of darkness. Now, I will say I agree more aspects of Kandi would have been nice to see before this moment. But besides that, this, I feel like, was amazing storytelling to me. If you don't agree, you have that right. But expecting a happy ending for everyone in the show that's heavily inspired from the reality of things isn't the best move. I wouldn't recommend that. Some say this as this was a way of messing up the Kandi character, but I will gladly argue that this heavy storyline actually made Kandi one of the most impactful characters of the entire series. Trans women will face dangers. They still face dangers to this day. They experience deaths that aren't taken in high regard due to who they are. I can't just give praise to the writers, but Angelica Ross, the queen that you are, the way she brought Kandi to life is what made this episode as amazing as it was. The way she played her throughout this entire series, the way she made us love her at moments, hate her at moments, the way she was able to be this villainous ballroom rival that's what she was, and she got under your skin. Then when she had her moments outside of most of the ballroom scenes, you adored her and rooted for her. I wish Angelica's Hollywood experience was much different. One, because transphobia in this day and age is already dumb as fuck. But also, the people need more of greatness like her on camera. So that also can go to say why I love this show Pose. This much trans talent on one show, love to see it. But yeah, I just had to talk about this show, this episode. I gush over amazing writing. Like I said, this was a quick little, I gotta talk about this video. As someone who wants to have that film and TV career, I just love amazingly thought out moments like this that play out. Especially with TV, because I feel like some people are a little hesitant to go towards the reality ending and more so will go towards the happy ending. Unfortunately, this was a reality ending, but they still kind of did try to do a happy thing with it, which I still also enjoyed, but it couldn't help but be tragic. This was a tragic but necessary story. But I say, let it also be an inspiration to continue fighting for your dreams. Say the things you want to say to the people you love today while they're here to enjoy it. And of course, standing up for trans rights and safety. There are many causes to keep your eye on, many laws to keep your eye on to help watch out and look out for trans people that you may know, that you may not know. So, but yeah, I just had to get this off my chest, y'all. This was a good show. People who know me after watching this episode, yeah, I haven't shut up about it. This was top tier TV. It was beautiful. I loved it. I loved the message. Yeah. I'm still gonna be listening to the song. I'm still listening to the song today. It's been days now, and I'm still listening to the song, and it's hitting as if the first time I watched it. But yeah, y'all, thank you all for listening. Now I got a whole season and a half left. I might come back to get more of my thoughts if something else happens or something else I want to speak on. You just might see me again, who knows? But yeah, this is a quick little video. Thank y'all for listening. You can subscribe, and all that other stuff. But yeah, much love to y'all, and happy Pride, LGBTQ plus fam.